Welcome back everyone to Data Science for Everyone. Today we're going to be looking at coordinate systems and the layered grammar of graphics with the tidyverse. Let's get started. So first off, let's make sure and grab our library, and we're going to grab the tidyverse. And then the next thing we want to do, we're going to start looking at some what do we want to look at here? So let's talk about a little bit about the coordinate systems themselves, okay? So coordinate systems are probably the most complicated part of ggplot. Now, the default coordinate system is our Cartesian coordinate system, so we have our x and our y axis. And again, they act independently, and they're going to determine the point of a specific point on the plane. Now, there are a number of different coordinate systems, okay? So when we talk about these, we have something like we can do something like a coordinate flip, okay? And so let's go and do that one first. So data here, we'll do the MPG, and let's do our mapping here. We want X is going to be our class, Y here is going to be our highway, and here we want to actually go on and do the geom box plot. And so this is going to be our standard box plot, okay? So again, this looks pretty nice the way that it is. Oops, let me actually maybe zoom out just. Let me actually show the whole thing here. And you know what? Let me go on and clean this up just a little bit for you guys. Let me make it a little bit smaller. There we go. Now you guys can actually see everything in here. And so you can see down at the bottom here, we have our classes, and then we have our highway miles per gallon. Again, we have our median line, we have our outliers as well. Now this isn't actually the purpose of this particular plot that we have here. The purpose that we actually want to mess with here is actually going to be adding in this coordinate, and we want to coordinate flip. And this is very useful because notice what happens here. Isn't this nice? It instantly put this in, it flipped the coordinates on us, and then we can have this a nice sideways box plot without any type of major manipulation, okay? This just switches our x and y axes. So for example, we want these horizontal box plots. And again, it's also very useful for long tables, okay, hard to get them to fit kind of with an overlapping x-axis. So another thing that we can do is we can do a quick map, and I absolutely love using maps and doing GIS work, those types of things. So let's maybe just do something very simple. Let's grab a world map, and we're using the map data in here, and I'm going to grab world. And again, there are a bunch of different data sets that are available with data map. The worlds, counties, states, the United States, New Zealand, again, all kinds of maps. And I would expect you guys just to go on and play with that if you guys are interested in maps. Now, another thing we'll do ggplot. And you know what, let me actually just show you guys what this looks like. Oops, you know, I should do this with a glimpse. Let me do that again. Okay, and so we have longitude, latitude, group, order, region, subregion, and these are very nice, again, if you want to maybe zoom in on a map or anything else. But what we're going to do is we're going to grab our longitude and our latitude, and we're going to add in our grouping as well, and then we'll maybe play with it just a little bit more if we want to. So one thing that we can do here is do ggplot. We have our world data, our aesthetics, we want the longitude, we want the latitude, and we want our group to be group. Now we also want to add in our geom polygon, and so that's actually what these are. These are kind of again, a polygon here is those borders that they have along for each of the countries and the border. So let's do a fill here of white. We want our color here, and this is going to be the borders themselves are going to be black. And so let's go on and run this. And again, we'll let it run for a second. It may take it a minute because it's filling in. There we go. And so here we actually see the whole world map. And so what's kind of nice here is that if we also have this coordinate of this coordinate quick map that we can add to this, okay? And this also helps set, for example, an aspect ratio. So let's do add just coordinate here for our quick map, and we'll run this and let it run for a second. This may take it a little bit of time here, but again, it doesn't have and it's going to actually wind up running into an error for us because we actually have some null values in this data set. So we can maybe go through and try, what else do we want to try? Maybe let's try, instead of world, let's just go through and do New Zealand, because I know that one actually works. And so let me go back up, and instead of world here, we're going to change this to New Zealand. And notice here, this actually, it fits it a lot better, and notice it actually has that nice aspect ratio. So if I go back and I actually take out that coordinate map and let it run, notice here, the aspect ratio is just a little bit off. So if you want this, see, there's a little bit of stretching going on in there. And so if you put and use that quick map, it actually helps change and clean up that aspect ratio for you. So another thing that we can do is we can go and we can take and do some polar coordinates as well. So first, let's go on and do a bar chart, and I'm just going to call this bar. And so let's do gg.plot here. Data is going to be our diamonds, and then we're going to add in a geom bar here, and I want my mapping. With our aesthetics, X here is going to be cut, Y here is going to be, or not Y, but fill here is going to be cut as well. And then we want to show our legend is going to be false, and then we also want our width here to equal 1. And then I'm going to add here a theme, and we'll do aspect ratio is going to be 1. And then we also want to do something with our labels. We're going to remove the labels. Okay, and so if I just go on and let me bring this over here, and I can show you guys a little bit of what we can do. So if I run this for our bar plot, this is our normal bar plot. Now we can use our bar, and we can add in here a coordinate flip if we want, and that gives us this nice horizontal box plot in here. Or we can go through and we can add in our polar. And I think this is actually a very nice way to represent things. It looks very clean, slightly unorthodox. Again, though, we got this premium cut off here a little bit, but we can always resize that later on. But it's a very nice thing to be able to do. So what have we actually kind of looked at, and what have we seen here? We've actually been talking about adding in these layered grammars of graphics is actually what we've been doing. So let's go and let me give just a bit of a rundown and a review of what we've kind of covered. So we have this ggplot, we have data, and it's going to be some data object in here. And then we would have something like a geometric function in here. And inside of some geometric function, we would have a mapping, okay? And we have aesthetics. And then inside here, we would have whatever our mappings happen to be. Then we could have some stat or some statistic in here. And then we also have our positional arguments with some position. And then I'm going to go on and add in here. And then what would be the next thing that we would have? We could have our coordinate function. Okay, so we can do a coordinate flip. We can do our polar coordinates, anything else. And then the last thing that we actually wound up talking about in this series is a facet function. Okay, and so this can be either the facet wrap or the facet grid. And again, so this is going to be our basic template for any type of graphic or geom that you're going to want to create, or any type of visualization you're going to want to create. So I hope you guys like this. This is going to be the end of this introductory series to ggplot2. Again, if you guys like this, please comment, subscribe, and hit that like button, and I will see you guys next time. Bye-bye.